still want that ringtone, don't you?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stacks, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What's happening, everybody? And once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. I am your man, Big T, alongside the usual cast of characters, my tag team partners. We're talking about none other than the First Lady, Mama, Doctor, the entrepreneur. She's all of those things rolled up into one, and she is in the house. We're talking about none other than TP, the Queen. What's going on, TP?
What's going on? Blessings to everyone. Blessings.
Hey, and then we got Mr. Smooth, the radio DJ voice of the Tunnel Crew. He's also an Elon basketball legend. None other than Bro Mel is in the house. Bro Mel, what is happening?
Hey, praise the Lord today. Praise the Lord. It's a good day to be with the Lord.
There you go. Bless. Love it. Love it. Always a good day to be with the Lord. And then he's got the WWE United States Championship belt with a spinner. Anyway, Birdman is in the house. Bird, what is going on?
For the viewers, I did not win the week, but this is my new baby, the one that John Cena created when he won the title.
I thought it was for G Unit.
G Unit. Then we got the man that brings the ag swag to the show each and every week. He represents that A&T Aggie Nation, and he's also, it looks tonight like the colors represent more of a Dudley flavor. Dudley Panthers, because his son's a Dudley football player. So, hey, we talking about Aggie P is in the house. Whether he's repping Dudley or A&T, it doesn't matter because he's going to rep them strong, and he's going to bring it. Aggie P, what's up?
Hold on, Tunnel Crew, and let me correct you. That's Dudley 3A State.
Oh!
Do you want me to go get the ring, Big T?
No.
You should see these rings, guys.
I bet you they blind you, won't they?
Yes. Hey, look, I took my little 1986 championship ring and hit it.
So you hit it?
Yes. You should see these rings, guys.
They something else.
Yeah, Aggie Pride is nationwide always, guys. Good to be here.
There you go. Love it. And then we can't leave out Radar Charles. I mean, we got to talk about Radar Charles, blind as everybody knows, but he manages to do the show, and he does it well.
Somehow, some way.
He kept us on point last week in the social media with TP while TP was out. I hope, TP, you got a chance to look at that and critique his performance. Radar Charles is in the house. Radar, what's up?
You know what, Big T? You know what, T? Narrow is the way, even though you don't want to show me no love today, sir. Narrow is the way. But I'll take what you give me, sir.
So you take it.
What he say, Bro Mel? God loves a cheerful giver.
There you go.
I take what he gives me, sir.
Hey, and together we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. Coming up on this edition of At Home with the Crossover, we recap the NFL draft. We also talk NBA playoffs, and we wonder aloud, what was Doc Rivers thinking? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Got all of that and much, much more coming up on this edition. But first, we start off with the hot topics. The hottest stories in sports may not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things we, the Tunnel Crew, want to talk about. And right off top, we're going to jump to the NFL draft because, as everybody knows, the draft took place last Thursday through Saturday. And, a lot of moves were made. The top 5 ended up looking like this. Georgia, defensive end Trayvon Walker was taken by the Jags with the first pick. He's a versatile defensive lineman that can play pretty much all positions. So he went number 1. Michigan defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who was the Heisman runner-up, and the Defensive Player of the Year, National Defensive Player of the Year. He was taken second by the Lions. And then a little bit of a surprise, LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. Was drafted by the New York Jets, and he was out injured last season, but before that, he had a great season the year before, and it didn't hurt him that he missed the season last year with the injuries. Still ended up as the number 3 pick in the draft. And then at the 4th pick, Cincinnati cornerback Ahmed Sauce Gardner was taken by the New York Jets. Actually, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The Texans took the LSU cornerback Derek Stingley. I'm sorry, y'all, I got that wrong. Gardner was taken by the Jets, the New York Jets, with the number 4 pick, and then continuing with the New York flavor, Oregon defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau was taken by Aggie P's New York Giants. Aggie P, real quick question: is this the next Lawrence Taylor for the Giants? Are we gonna put that kind of pressure on him right away?
Big T, you know my stand on that. We will see.
We will see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to tell. I mean, yeah, he looked good in college, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
When the big lights come on and you get out there with them grown men and it's their job to run through you.
Yeah.
Things are different then. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you got for the top 5. Other notables, there was a run on wide receivers. In fact, you had the most wide receivers ever taken in the first 2 rounds. And I don't know the exact number on that, but I know in the first round there were 5 taken. And you had 4 out of 5 at one point from picks number 8 through 12, including wide receivers from Ohio State going back to back. Chris Olave going to the New Orleans Saints with the number 11 pick, and Garrett Wilson going to the Jets with the number 10 pick. And then you only had 1 quarterback selected in the first round of this draft. He came at number 20. That was Kenny Pickett, our man Kenny Pickett from the ACC's Pittsburgh Panthers. Steelers took him to be Big Ben's replacement. And it was only 1 quarterback drafted in the first 2 rounds. It's the first time that's happened since the 2000 draft. So it's been a long time since quarterbacks got the cold shoulder like that. So you had those moves. And then moving on to the local flavor, the Panthers, our Carolina Panthers. They took North Carolina State offensive tackle Akeem Ekwonu in the first round. And then they took Ole Miss quarterback Matt Carroll in the 3rd round. And from everything I heard, the reason he dropped is some possible drinking issues, alcohol problems there. But he's supposed to be at least a second round talent. Fell to the 3rd round, so it was a good pick up by the Panthers. They also took Penn State linebacker Brandon Smith in the 4th round, and another ACC guy, Virginia Tech defensive end Amari Barno, later on in the draft. So, a lot of things happening. Tunnel Crew, your thoughts on the draft? I've got a couple of other numbers I want to toss out, but I'm going to give you guys a chance to talk first. Your thoughts on what the Panthers did, your thoughts on what your team did, your thoughts on the draft, period.
Well, as far as the New York Giants, I was very satisfied with the picks, BT. I only wish we would have got Malik Willis.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where did he end up going?
I don't even know.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
He went to Tennessee.
That's right. That's right. Because I just heard today they were talking about, they asked Ryan Tannehill, was he going to mentor him? And he said, no. Well, he said, I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but, he can watch me and learn from me, So he seemed a little salty there.
Yeah, of course. It's a job. I mean, somebody's trying to take your spot. So, yeah. But as far as my New York Giants, I was very satisfied. I would just wish that we would have got Malik Willis, the pressure of Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Not to get him on out of there. But it is what it is. I can't wait till August.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of pleased. I was pleased with the Panthers as well as, as Green Bay as well. I think I predicted it on the last show that they would take South Dakota State wide receiver, which was Christian Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked him up. That was the second pick. The 2nd or 3rd pick that they made. So,
yeah,
like I said, he just needs somebody who can catch the ball and get open. He'll throw it to him. So, that was a good pick. I think the Panthers did very well. with, with their draft picks, trying to secure that line, which, that fell in their lap, the guy from North Carolina State. So that was a blessing right there.
Yeah.
And I think, with the quarterback deal there, everybody has some issues that they deal with. It's just who brings it out and who doesn't. I think it's intriguing with, was it Corral? That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Corral. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I heard him speak, and it seemed like, he's trying to get his life together. He did talk a little bit about Christ and about some issues that he dealt with, some mental issues that he dealt with.
Okay.
And so, I think just moving forward that, he's trying to be a better person than what he was, before all this occurred, which I pray that he will.
Mm-hmm.
And, the ceilings is high for him.
What about them Eagles?
Yeah, Bird.
I'm going to save that for the question of the day. All I can say is Glendale, Arizona. That's where I'm going to go. That's where we're going.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, go ahead, TP.
I just wanted to say, I know we're talking about the draft, but I kind of want to flip it for a moment. And I just wanted to kind of see, what does the crew think, considering that Brady is supposed to come back? We're talking about draft picks, which I understand, but now that we know that Brady is coming back, I just kind of wanted to get everybody's feel, because now you have new draft picks coming in and Brady is supposed to be coming back. So just kind of wanted to see what was the feeling on that.
Oh my gosh, let's cower and bow down to the legend. Brady's coming back. Big deal. It's not gonna matter.
Hey, but you know what? I can do that. 2 for 1. The league is still young, so they don't have the knowledge, the experience. They're still playing they're still green. Even though they're faster, stronger, quicker, they still got to catch up to the speed of the game. Brady been playing this game for the past 20 years. It's slow motion for him out there. And that's why Green Bay went defense. Y'all saw they got 2 other boys from Georgia, linebacker and a defensive tackle. So that means they trying to put pressure on these guys. They trying to get the wideouts, but at the same time, if you got linebackers that can keep up with running backs and tight ends, you got the game sewn up now. You can put pressure on Mahomes, Brady, but Brady still knows how to avoid hits. He still knows how to get rid of that ball.
I think, my thought on that with Brady, it's going to depend on his relationship with the coach. I think that's going, because it just seems like the last few coaches he's been with, there's always something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That can hinder a team. So if he can get that relationship together, then he probably do well.
Yeah.
He's gonna do well, but it's for us to see.
Curious to know, because I didn't pay much attention to Tampa Bay's draft. Be curious to know if they got him any help. Got the old man any help to maybe, especially at the wide receiver position. Hey, Gronk still hasn't re-signed yet, so you don't know if he's coming back. So be interested to look at their draft and see if they got a tight end, wide receivers, something to help the old man out.
Yes.
Well, I hate to be the bad guy here. I hope Brady loses every game.
Thank you, Aggie P. Thank you.
I mean, seriously. I have to be that guy right now. Because he should have stayed in retirement.
Yeah.
He keep chancing it and praying that nothing, crazy happened to him. Man, go out on top. Yeah. Do some volunteer work. Give away some money. Live that type of life, man. Don't keep coming back and chancing it with this type of sport. It's not to be chanced that way. And
so you kind of disrespecting the game a little bit.
To me, man. I mean, guys, you have your duration to play. Hey, when it's over, it's over. Right off in the sunset, and thank God that you are healthy to do that.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of players that they ended, and their bodies are so tore up, and it's just a bad life for them. So I hope he loses every game. I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy.
It's fine. That was my point. Was when you get in these rookies, and then you have some of these people. We talked long time ago about this in basketball, when you have people that's getting a little too old, and then you have these rookies coming in. you know, he's supposed to retire. So now that we got the draft pick, who's gonna defend him?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, we talked about Jordan Davis coming through that line as fast as he can move as a 350, 360 pound guy, whatever. So, you know, hey.
Given Sunday.
Hey, listen up, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed the first segment of this edition of At Home with the Crossover. We're having fun. We hope you are as well. And when we come back, we got more of the hot topics.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
Hey, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and join us each and every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube. And I don't know if Blind Man Radar can find that. He looks like he's searching now and he can't see, but maybe you can have more success than he can finding At Home with the Crossover on Tuesday nights live on YouTube. You go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends about it because you don't want to miss the queen, you know, living it up in the mansion. That's why she was not on the show last week. She was throwing a big, you know, it was a Holy Ghost party, but she was throwing a big party at the mansion last week. You don't want to miss her. You don't want to miss smooth as ice, Bromel. You know, I mean, you don't want to miss this guy. You definitely don't want to miss Birdman with his plethora of WWE trinkets, spinning U.S. title belts and all that stuff. And you don't want to miss Aggie P, you know, because he's gonna bring that bling one week, that Dudley Championship ring.
Oh, I got it right here, Big T. Hey, look, he done slid it up.
Oh my goodness, there it is. There it is.
That does not.
That
is.
Oh
that thing looks bigger than a college ring.
I'm telling you,
it is. I mean, this is high school, guys.
Whoa.
For our listeners, this ring is about the same size as the one you get for winning the Super Bowl. The big game.
That thing is enormous.
Yeah, it is.
It makes Birdman's championship ring look like an engagement ring.
That's why they call it a replica, Radar.
So like I said, hey, you don't want to miss this.
It's like a promise ring.
You definitely don't want to miss all of this fun. So tune in every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And once you get there, like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know about it. Then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. It's also at 7 p.m. And you can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, and it's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. Hey, before we move on from the draft, y'all, I want to point out a couple of things because you remember now I was the guy that was all on Georgia all season. I said these guys got a historic defense, and hey, Aggie P, we talked about. I will admit that if Alabama was totally healthy, I don't think Georgia wins that championship. So that kind of surprised me. But in the draft, they did some things, especially on the defensive side, some things that were historic too. So Georgia had 15 players selected in this draft. That's the most since the 1984 Texas team had 17 guys drafted. They also had more players drafted in this draft than any other national championship team in the last 50 years. Okay. They had the most defensive players taken in the first round with 5, and they're the only school in history to have 7 defensive players taken in the first 3 rounds. So Georgia definitely proved that they were a historic defense and a historic team, I guess, when you consider all of the numbers and weigh everything. Your thoughts, Tunnel Crew, on Georgia and how outstanding they were. And like we just talked about that beast, defensive tackle Jordan Davis. He went to Birdman's Eagles, and he went to the Eagles kind of later than everybody expected. People thought he was going to go pretty early, and I don't know what pick that was, Bird, but he went lower than I thought he was going to go.
We traded up, I believe, number 13 for that.
13, that sounds right. Yep. So everybody's thoughts on Georgia, their historic draft, or just the draft in general, because like we said, we only had 1 quarterback selected in the first 2 rounds. The first time that's happened since 2000. Set a record for wide receivers taken in the first 2 rounds. It looks like teams are loading up on wide receivers. It's like that's the future of the game. You think Jamar Chase had something to do with that, with the numbers he put up as a rookie?
Could possibly be, Big T, but once again, I enjoyed the draft, and also I really enjoyed seeing a lot of big guys get drafted early.
Yeah.
NC State, the guy from Georgia, and everything, and especially in the first round. So I was pleased with the draft, but once again, for me, I don't know, because I'm getting old or whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean as much anymore.
Yeah,
until you see them play on the field. Like take the big guy from Georgia. Yeah, he's a specimen. He run a 4.6, but he takes plays off.
Yeah.
And you can't do that in the pros.
No, you can't.
You'd be 6'7", 350, standing on the bench, getting ready to be traded. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. I'm just, like I said before, I'm just waiting on August to see the guys get on the field, see who needs to be developed, and see who's ready to play now.
Yeah, I agree with Aggie P with that too, because NFL is a totally different story, fellas and ladies. It's totally different. You can do all that in college, but once you get on that gridiron with some grown men, it's totally different. You can have the strength, but if you don't know the game, they're gonna beat you with their mind.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. I like to see it too. I like this, some of the draft choices, but when they get on the field, then you're gonna actually see who's gonna come to because you're gonna have guys that's not even in the big Division I that's gonna be starting that nobody heard of.
Yeah.
So those are guys I root for right there. Those guys that nobody ever hear about. So.
And let me say this, I'm totally with you, and that's exactly where I was going with this. So we have, when we look at the HBCUs, Deion made a commercial, like a little commercial thing. I think it was on Facebook or Instagram that said we didn't have anybody drafted in the last 2 years. I don't even know who that person was, but I know almost 4 years ago, it was 3. So my point in saying that is, they had the HBCU combines. Of course, they went out to Jackson State, but they also went out to some other schools. I believe FAMU, they went out to FAMU. There was 6 Aggie P players from A&T that were invited to some camps. I believe Ron Hunt signed with the Jets. Jermaine Martin was invited to the mini camp for the Colts. So we have some people that's now going in the door. It's not the way we wanted it to be drafted, but I'm at least glad that Deion used his platform to bring some more awareness of what needs to happen, especially when it comes to the HBCUs and really those silent type of players.
Yeah.
The ones that may not come on your TV every week, but the ones that are powerful.
Right.
Well,
also there was a guy from Fayetteville State that was drafted second or third round, I believe. It was up there. I think he might be he looked like a speed guy. So he might be a receiver or something. So once again, hey, I mean, thank you, Deion. You're absolutely right. Hey, let's get him in the door. But you know my thing, we got to get some owners.
Yeah. Well, and we had last year. We had nobody HBCU drafted. Had four drafted this year. So Deion does deserve some credit for putting that out there and making sure that people know that ball players exist at the HBCU level. I mean, when you think about the NFL, you can't talk about the NFL without mentioning Jerry Rice. He's matter of fact, some people say, he's the greatest football player of all time. There's debate and discussion about that, not just wide receiver, but football. He's got numbers that are still standing and look like they won't be broken. And this guy came from HBCU. So, so we just got to recognize that there is talent beyond just the main schools like Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State and all of those places. Hey, real quick, because there was a couple of things that went down surrounding the draft that didn't involve players being drafted. Birdman's Eagles made a big trade, and they got A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, that's a big pickup for the Eagles. Big pickup to go with Devontae Smith. And then the Cardinals traded with Baltimore and took Hollywood Brown from the Ravens. And we just found out this week where that might be coming from, because I'm pretty sure they had some inside information that this was going to go down. Deandre Hopkins, it was announced yesterday, was suspended for 6 games going into the next season for violation of the NFL's PED policy. So, Tono Crew, your thoughts on these moves that surrounded the draft? Let me know what you think about Birdman's Eagles acquiring A.J. Brown, and that's a big move, Bird.
Well, to me, hey, you can have the move, but you got to get the ball to them. I want to see what they're going to do on the field. When you go to another team, that doesn't mean you're going to automatically click. You got to work at that. Yeah. And that's not a bad move for Philly, but I'm just saying the thing is that I need to see the product on the field.
Yeah.
Can Jalen Hurts get on the ball?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the big question. So he is on the hot seat.
So he's on the hot seat?
Yes, sir. Or either Minshew's going to be taking over.
That's why we did what we did, traded all those picks. If you know strategy, that's why we did what we did, because we're giving Jalen Hurts one more year to prove himself, because this next draft is going to be quarterback heavy. And if he doesn't prove himself,
you're moving on.
No excuses.
Moving on.
Right?
You sound like my guys, man. They talking about, well, Tua, you got no excuse this year. If you don't get it done, you out. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna jump on to the NBA because there is NBA playoffs going on. The Suns closed out the Pelicans in the last round, and that's old news now. But the big story of that Game 6, the closeout game, was CP3, who finished with a perfect game. Dude went 14 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, finished with 33 points in the 115-109 victory in Game 6. So that was a big-time performance by CP3A, the old bad, getting it done. And then you had Luka and Dallas closing out Utah. And the big story there is Luka scoring 500 points in the playoffs. And he became the first player to do that since his airness, Michael Jordan, back in the day. So congratulations to both of those guys on those big performances. It didn't help Luka last night when Luka went out there and scored 42 points, and they still lost the game to CP3's Suns. So Suns are up 1-0 in that series. 76ers got blown out by the Miami Heat because they didn't have Joel Embiid. And we're going to talk a little bit more on the other side of the break about why they didn't have Joel Embiid. But first, I want you, the listeners, to know that you can catch us every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know about the show. And that's Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Then on Thursday nights, 7 p.m., catch the audio version, the original crossover sports show. You can catch it online at WLJFradio.com. When we come back, it's time for the question of the day.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry, join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
100.7 WLJF.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and catch us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell everyone you know, family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, strangers on the street. Tell everybody you know about the Crossover, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube, because you don't want to miss Radar doing crazy things like trying to read a book or a card or something that he can't see. Man, put that down. Anyway, and then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show, and you don't want to miss it. It comes on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. All right, let's get back into hot topics. Question of the day. We got all of that coming up, and I'm gonna just go ahead and lead on into our question of the day because it's gonna entangle our hot topics, and we're gonna eat up this entire segment talking about, finishing off our hot topic stories and letting the tunnel crew give us their thoughts. So the question of the day is this. A lot of stuff happened in sports, as you can see. We talked about NFL draft. We talked about all the trades. We talked about the suspension of Deandre Hopkins. We talked about NBA playoffs. We got into that a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit more. Baseball, the Yankees are on fire. Brittany Griner is, still overseas, and there's some movement being made there. So all of these things are happening and going on. So we just wanted to get the tunnel crew's thoughts. And we're asking the tunnel crew, what is their favorite sports story from the last week? What is the thing that most caught their attention, caught their eye, and that they want to talk about here. And so we're going to go ahead and toss that out there. But before I do, I had a teaser before the break, and I told everybody Joel Embiid did not play in game 1 of that 14-point blowout by the Heat. Well, that was because our man Doc Rivers left him in game 6 of the last series when they were up by 30 points. You know, up by 30, you leave a man in there, he gets injured, and now he has to miss game 1. He might miss game 2, they said. So what was Doc thinking? I don't know. You know, we'll throw it out there, let the Tunnel Crew talk about it. And James Borrego from the Hornets got fired, y'all. And they're looking at possibly replacing him with Mike D'Antoni, which means they'll score a lot of points, but they won't stop anybody. Tunnel Crew, your thoughts on your favorite sports story? Have at it.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go first. a lot happened, you know, over this weekend, but this one particular thing just been on my mind, and I know a lot of the ESPN analysts and everybody has been talking about it. The game between the Grizzlies and Golden State. Draymond was ejected. Was ejected from the game for that foul. Now, when I saw, great game too, by the way. I mean, wow, great game. But the ejection to me did not warrant him to be ejected for the rest of the game. But when I thought about it, I said, well, I'm going to talk about this with the Tunnel Crew. I think that the referee did that ejection for Green because of who he is. You know, his history, you know, because he's a dirty player. And he said he's not going to stop playing that way. And we all know his history and the things that he have done. And I think the referee did that to send him a signal and to let him know that, no, you're not going to get away with this type of stuff in this series. Because I really believe if it had been anybody else, they would have put him on the free throw line with a technical foul. I really do. And I don't know. I mean, that is what really stuck out in my mind and, you know, brought a lot of thought to me of that ejection of the game. And then Golden State ended up winning anyway. So I don't know, Grizzlies. I mean, I'm pulling for you, but I don't know. So Big T, that's what stuck out in my mind over the weekend. And I was just wondering, did that referee make that decision, or did they come together to make that decision because of who Draymond Green is?
That was a good one. Good one.
Yeah. I want to go next, and I do want to, what Agape is saying, he's correct on that. And we don't need officials, you know, really being out there to determine a game, try to determine a game. We already had enough of that in NCAA. So I truly believe that what Aggie P was saying with that. But my thing with this week with the Yankees, man, the Yankees on fire, man. You know, they playing, you know, they hitting a lot of home runs, but they're hitting a lot of base hits. You know. And that's what's really, and the pitching is going pretty well as, you know, also. So that was my take for this week, you know. But the biggest thing I was looking at A&T, baseball. You know, you're able to beat a couple of, you know, ACC schools, you know, in baseball, beating Carolina, then come back and beating Pittsburgh as well. And then in that second game against Pittsburgh, they went 10 innings. They lost in 10 innings. So that tells you that, you know, they have talent.
Yeah.
You know, they have, and the good thing about it, they're playing some good schools too. And so with that, it's going to bring more players to that program because they know they're going to be playing against good talent, and they're going to be seen. You know, guaranteed they're going to be seen. So that was my take for the week. You know, with the baseball part of it, just being able to, you know, I really don't watch a lot of baseball until it gets close to the end. But you know, I'm a Yankees guy, so you know, I keep up with the Yankees regardless, you know, from the beginning to the end. So,
what is it, 10 in a row now for them?
Yeah, 10 in a row. You know,
man, that's good, man.
Well, you know what? Hey, they're getting ready to go on a loser streak because you'll find out in the pick segment why. Next.
You know what, Big T?
Yes, sir.
I like the way he laughing now, bro, Mel. Because, you know, The picks have not been working out for Big Flamingo T.
No, they haven't. They haven't.
And not only that, but you see how he like to gloss over how Giannis is taking control over the series already.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight they about to go up 2 games, but he glossed over that. He wanted to talk about.
Hold on, Bird. You got a score?
Celtics 42, Bucks 25.
Oh, okay. So what now? Hold on now. Wait a minute. I didn't even know the score, but I heard you talking junk. So I was like, okay. Bird said he was gonna have the score locked and loaded. So what you got to say now? What you got to say now?
But is that the halftime score, Birdman?
No, we still in the
second quarter.
Second quarter. Oh, okay. Giannis got time. He only scored 25 last night, the last game. So he due for a big game tonight. Okay. Anyway, I remember y'all doubting him when he put 50 up in game 6, right? So this year he gonna repeat. That's the story. They won. Boston thought they were gonna come in there and manhandle them and got manhandled. Because everybody thought KD was the joint until Giannis showed up this year and played ball. Am I right, Aggie P?
You're right.
He playing ball. That's all. Right. That's all I'm saying, Big G. Show him some love. I know he ain't from Chapel Hill or Miami, but I mean, you can show him some love, baby.
Giannis. Hey, I showed him enough love last year when I picked him to win. So there you go.
Okay.
All right. Next. We got to move on from that.
I'm going
garbage.
Yeah. Let me break it up and bring some women to the session.
Oh, hold on a minute, TP. I don't mean to cut y'all. Social media. I almost forgot. Was anybody making any comments, anything?
Yes. So the wonderful part is that we have a member of our own tunnel crew still talking junk on social media.
Oh.
So yes, he had to turn around. So Radar, we're sitting up here and kind of talking a little bit of junk and just getting the party started here on YouTube with Small Wonder. And he was asking, and he said, I got this right, Small Wonder? So I just said how Radar has just been hating on everybody. Everybody said he gave me a shout out.
Oh.
I said, that's because Big T said you're not going to sit up here and talk bad about TP.
That's right.
So, having a good time, just talking about, how when I was gone, I will give Radar this much. Y'all see my fingers together? I will give him this much to say that I appreciate him interacting with the YouTube crew. But I'm only giving him this much credit because he doesn't even get an inch. He doesn't even
get an inch
or a millimeter because that's about all he's gonna get. So I want to give a shout out to Small Wonder. Small Wonder is always supporting us.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. So back
all right. Well, thank you. Now, I'm sorry I cut you off, but it just hit me that I hadn't done that. So your thoughts on your favorite sports story?
Well, of course, representing the women, I wanted to say how the player from North Carolina State, Elise, she was cut from the Seattle Storm. And as we all know, it doesn't matter anytime you go from college to professional, it's difficult. You're talking about a whole new game, whole new people. It's just like the rookies that's going into the NFL, you hype yourself up and you're going in. So my hope is that she will be very encouraged to keep doing what she's doing. Hopefully she can get somebody from the WNBA or a good coach or a good trainer to come in and say, hey, this is a new ball game. Whether that's to beef up more or whatever she needs to do. It's a hard enough sport, especially when you're playing from college to WNBA. So I just want to give a shout out to the ladies.
There you go. The ladies being represented.
Yes.
Thank you, TP. All right, next, it's toss up between Bird and Aggie P. Who wants to go next?
Aggie P already went, I thought.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. That's right. Aggie P let us off. That's right. Bird, well, I guess toss up between you and me then. So I'll let you go. I'll defer to you.
Okay. We had already hit on it earlier. Now, on paper, we look good. On paper.
On paper.
Gordon Davis, right there with Fletcher Cox. That looks good on paper.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, looks good on paper.
Yep.
Hurts, you have no excuses. You have none whatsoever. Now, I'll agree with Bro Mel when I say this. I got to see how they play. I got to see how they mesh, especially defense. When you got Jordan Davis right there and Graham, we about to get sacks all season long. All season long. On paper, we should be able
to... Sounds like a torn ACL to me in the training camp.
On paper, we should be able to get the NFC East on lock, on paper. But I got to believe it when I see it.
Birdman was so serious that he done went from the glasses on.
He took the glasses off.
He can see real clear now, Bro Mel.
It's like he was getting ready to turn from Clark Kent to Superman the way his off.
Took the glasses off.
Just saying, this is coming from real Eagles fan. Y'all have no excuses. Gannon, you ain't got no choice but to blitz, because after all that, how we did, you ain't got no choice. No excuses.
Okay, all right. So the Bird has made it known. His favorite story was getting all the picks, and then he turned around and poo-pooed on it by saying, "Hey, I don't know if it's gonna work out."
On paper,
yeah. There's a lot of old papers mentioned there. There's a ton of old papers. So we'll have to see how it turns out for you, Bird. I think it's gonna be interesting. All right. Well, my favorite sports story of the week was going to see the Cobras play. The Cobras have been out of action. They actually played last year, played a shortened, abbreviated season last year. But they were out the 2020 season because of COVID. And then, like I said, played a short, abbreviated season last year. I didn't get a chance. You know what? By the time I realized they were playing last year, it was the playoffs. I looked up and they were like, Cobras playoff game. I'm like, what? They've been playing? I didn't even know. So, Aggie P provided me with an opportunity to go catch a game on Saturday at the Coliseum. That's why I'm wearing the gear. Got the shirt on too. He hooked me up. Me and my cousin, we got to go hang out with him and his son and a friend of his son, and I enjoyed it. Had a good time. It was good to see them back in action. They've started the season off 2-0. They beat the defending champs on the road in the first game, and then Saturday night when we went, that was their first home game. Good environment, good football. They played well, won by 3 touchdowns. So that was my favorite thing of the weekend, and getting a chance to just watch the game with Aggie P and my cousin and his son's friend. It was just a lot of fun. Had a blast.
Had a good time, yeah, we did.
Hey, and we learned that they make $200 a game, and they get an additional $50 when they win. So that was a little bit of a shock.
That's how. Hey, that messed the rest of the game up when Big T told me that. He said, "Hey, Aggie P," he said, "Do you know they make $200 a week?" I mean, I didn't hear no cheering no more. I didn't even want to focus. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yep. So there you have it. Hey, everybody, catch us every Tuesday night live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know about it. You don't want to miss it. Then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. And you can hear that online at WLJFradio.com. You can also go to Google Play or the iTunes Store and download the 100.7 WLJF app, and you can listen to it wherever you go. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Man, Radar just cracks me up.
$200, Radar.
Yeah, that look on his face was priceless when you said that too. Hey, if you're catching the audio version of this, go to YouTube, go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel, look up the May 3rd episode of At Home with the Crossover. And then scroll towards the end of the show and see Radar's reaction to Carolina Cobras players making $200 a game. All right, it's time for the Tunnel Crew picks, time for the pick segment, time for the wrap up. And we're going to look at the results from last week's show. Aggie P just, man, was perfect. Him and CP3 had a perfect week. Did CP3 call you up and say, let's go out and celebrate with a steak dinner?
No, I was a little bothered with the count you gave on last week. Beginning of the week that I couldn't get a recount. So I said, okay, if I can't get the recount,
let me just go out there and take care of business. So
yeah,
just go.
Get your numbers, Aggie P. Get your numbers, baby. Aggie P. Big T ain't gonna look out for you.
So Aggie P went 4-0. He won the week, so he'll have another notch under his belt for the tiebreaker. Bro Mel and Radar went 3-1, so they're in second place. Stats. Birdman and the Queen all went 2-2, so they are in fourth place. They had a nice 500 showing there. And man, I think it's the second week in a row I've come in at the bottom, sitting there with another 1-3 record. Man, this is tough, man. I am just sinking. I'm like the Titanic right now.
Hey, Birdman, I guess he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he tore it. The season is over.
Yo, man, it's been a rough couple of weeks for a brother. So the overall standings look like this. I told you last week, Bro Mel had to walk me down. Now he just leaving me in his dust. I'm sitting there coughing, eating up exhaust fumes from him. Bro Mel is on top with 78 wins. I'm second with 75 wins. Hanging by a thread as Radar is right behind me with 73 wins. Aggie P is right there behind me with 72 wins. TP is knocking on the door with 69 wins. Birdman has 61 wins. He's 11 games out of the playoffs right now. And Stats has 59 wins. He is 13 games back in the playoff standings. So they got some ground to make up. So the picks for this week look like this. We had to choose the NBA playoffs, pick all 4 of the second round series. You had to pick the team that will lead or win the series before the next show. This counts for 4 picks for everybody. And we got the Bucks versus Celtics, 76ers versus Heat, Warriors versus Grizzlies, and Mavs versus Suns. Then in the NHL, the playoffs are going on. You had to choose who will lead or win the series between the Canes, our Canes, and the Boston Bruins, with the Canes already up 1-0 after winning game 1 last night. And then Major League Baseball, you could pick any team to have a winning record between tonight and next Monday, but it can't be the same team you picked last week. If you picked the Major League Baseball team last week, And out of those picks, we all had to pick the NBA. So we all got those 4. And then it was any 2 of those. Any one of those other 2, the NHL pick and the Major League Baseball pick. So I guess I'll lead us off here. And I took the Bucks, the Heat, the Grizzlies, and the Suns. And Bro Mel, the reason I said your Yankees are getting ready to go on a loser streak because I've been struggling. I'm terrible lately. And I picked your Yankees to be the team that has a winning record between now and next Monday. So, yeah, look for them to go ahead and start losing.
No, they ain't going to lose.
All right, it's time for Bro Mel to make his picks.
So my picks are the Bucks, the Heat, Warriors, Suns, and the Hurricanes.
All right. Bro Mel's picks are in. Radar.
Yes, sir. My picks are Giannis and the Bucks without Middleton, might I add. The Heat, the Warriors, the Suns, and the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay. All right. Next, we got the Queen.
Sorry, I have the Bucks, the Heat, the Warriors, the Suns, and the Hurricanes.
All right. Next, Birdman.
I'm taking Giannis, Heat, the Warriors, Suns, and the Carolina Hurricanes.
All right. And Aggie P, the winner. 4-0.
Wow, I guess the same as Bird and TP.
Okay.
Bucks,
Hey,
Heat, Warriors, Suns, and the Canes, baby.
can he make it 8-0? You know? Hey, don't forget, don't sleep on Bro Mel too. Bro Mel has gone 10-2.
Wow.
In the last 2 weeks, y'all. The last 3 weeks. 10-2. So that man's on fire too. Stats. Stats.
With some horse racing.
Say some horse racing.
Yeah.
Stats took the Bucks, the Heat, the Grizzlies, the Suns, and the Minnesota Twins in baseball. All right, so that's our picks. Now it's time for shut up and play or shout outs from the Tunnel Crew, and we will start with Blind Man Radar.
I'd like to give a shout out to Greta Bush, my mom, for helping me out with everything and anything that this podcast has to offer to me.
There you go, man. There you go. I love it. All right, First Lady.
I'd like to give a shout out to Niana Furman's family from Winston-Salem State, one of my students. She is currently in critical condition, was hit by a car. So we're praying for the family.
Yes, definitely praying for her father in Jesus' name. Move on her behalf. Bro Mel.
I want to give a shout out to my mom. She turned 84 today. So thank God for 84 years that I pray that I get a chance to see.
Yes.
That's my shout out for today.
Congratulations on 84. Birdman.
I'm going to show my best friend some love. She's back. Couldn't do this without you.
There you go. They talking about TP for those who don't know. Aggie P.
Oh. I want to give a shout out, Big T, an early shout out to all the mothers.
Yes.
Going into Mother's Day weekend. If your mother is still living, love on her.
Yes.
Trust me. I don't care what's going on. Love on your moms.
That's right.
That's my shout out, Big T.
Happy Mother's Day, TP. We'll give that one to you from the Tunnel Crew. Hey, my shout out is to the Canes who blew out the Boston Bruins in game 1 last night, 5-1. Larry was there. He said it was exciting, and he said he believes that this team is going to do something special. So Canes up 1-0 in that series. Congratulations to them. All right, for Radar.
There is the way.
For the Queen.
Blessings.
For Bromel.
Praise the Lord.
For Aggie P.
No weapon.
For Birdman.
Whosoever believeth in him.
There you go. I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator's there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.